Have you ever just stopped to think about what's happening inside your chest right this second? Well, we're about to take this incredible journey, not across the world, but deep inside our own bodies, to see the amazing teamwork between our heart and lungs. Let's dive in and explore this system together.
It really seems like such a simple question, right? But the answer? Well, it's this beautifully complex dance of anatomy and physiology. It's something that happens thousands of times a day, completely on autopilot. So let's unpack that question and see what's really going on in there.
Okay, so our journey starts with the landscape, the physical space where the heart and all its major pipelines live. You can almost think of it as the body's grand central station. It's this bustling, protected hub that anchors this whole system.
And this central hub actually has a name, the mediastinum. And it's not just empty space, not at all. It's this perfectly organized compartment that acts like a protective locker for your heart, the big blood vessels, your windpipe, and even your esophagus. This is the absolute core of our chest.
Now, to keep this busy neighborhood organized, anatomists split it into two main areas. Up top, you've got the superior mediastinum. Think of that as the main highway interchange for all the major blood vessels. Then below that, you have the inferior mediastinum, and this is the prime real estate where the heart itself is located. This simple division just helps us map everything out.
So we've got the stage set, but what about the action? What actually makes us breathe? Well, the whole process really hangs on one crucial muscle, and the nerve that acts as its little on switch.
The chain of command for every single breath is amazingly direct. First, the signal starts way up in your neck, in the cervical spine. From there, it travels down a special pathway, the phrenic nerve, all the way down to the diaphragm. As soon as that signal hits, the diaphragm contracts, and that's what pulls air into the lungs. It's a perfect three-step electrical command.
And look, this pathway isn't just some random fact for a biology test. Because that signal starts so high up in the neck, it explains exactly why a severe injury to that specific spot can cut off the command to breathe. It's this incredibly powerful link between our anatomy and how our bodies work, moment to moment.
All right, so the diaphragm has done its job and air is rushing in. But where exactly is it going? Let's follow that breath as it makes its way from the main airways down, down, down into the microscopic depths of the lungs.
You know, the airways in our lungs are pretty cleverly designed with two different zones. First, you've got the conducting zone. This acts like a series of pipes or air highways that are just designed to move air deep into the chest. But then you get to the respiratory zone. And this is where the real business happens. This is where the air finally meets the parts that do the vital gas exchange.
We've reached the end of the line for that breath of air. Now we need to zoom in, way in, to the exact microscopic point where the whole reason for breathing is finally fulfilled.
And here it is. Meet the star of the show, the alveoli. These are the tiny, delicate structures where oxygen from the air you just breathed in passes into your bloodstream. And at the same time, carbon dioxide from your body passes out. This is it. This is the whole point of breathing, right here.
And they are just perfectly designed for this job. We have hundreds of millions of these tiny sacs, which creates a huge surface area. Get this, if you spread them all out, they'd cover a tennis court. Their walls are just 1 cell thick, which makes it super easy for gases to pass right through. And they're wrapped in this dense web of tiny blood vessels, called capillaries, just waiting to grab that oxygen.
Okay, so the blood is now rich with oxygen. It rushes over to the heart, which then pumps it out to the entire body. But wait a second. The heart is a muscle too, a very, very hard-working muscle. So how does it get the fuel it needs to keep going?
Well, our body has this whole complex network of arteries, right? Major pipelines going to the lungs, the head, the arms. But there's a special set of arteries that branches off right at the very beginning, just to feed the heart itself. These are the coronary arteries, and their one and only job is to deliver a constant supply of that fresh, oxygenated blood directly to the heart muscle.
And understanding this system is absolutely critical. A heart attack is, quite literally, what happens when one of these vital coronary arteries gets blocked. The blood supply gets cut off, and part of the heart muscle actually starts to die from a lack of oxygen. It just goes to show you how life-sustaining these specific arteries truly are.
So from a tiny signal in the neck to a microscopic air sac to a specialized artery, we've seen how the heart and lungs work in this perfect, life-giving rhythm. They're partners. Which really leaves us with one final thought. What happens when that incredible partnership is broken?